Would you prefer for a man to maintain you, or do you prefer to work?
A man should maintain me because my dad maintained me. I never paid for nothing.
I got nightmares in my head, I fear that the thoughts build up until I can't hear, that my mind fills up into...
Welcome to another episode of Real Talk Today. And I'll be your host. Got a real banger for you. Let's get into it.
In a relationship, and your ideology of money, is that working for you? Anybody?
Single over here. I'm single.
Exactly.
I'm suffering by myself.
Right.
I'm trying to build myself up.
Right.
Why would I bring another man into that?
Because I'm gonna take 50% of your suffering off your head. I'm gonna take 50% of the bills off your back. I'm gonna take 50% of the bills off your goddamn bottom. Hold on, we got somebody triggered over there. Go ahead.
Make less, how does that work? Please add the math. If you make substantially less than me, how the fuck does that work?
Because you said if I had to go 50, I'd rather just be alone.
Right.
Because if I can't
Yeah,
ask,
that shit don't make no sense either. Hey, girl, man. I'm struggling to pay $2,000. Somebody offers $1,000. I want to struggle alone. Girl, man. $2,000 in debt. He got $1,000. I never mind. Girl, man. Try to put me out of the motherfucking pot me. He got hell. I don't want it. Girl, man.
Oh my God. I don't even know what to say to this. Because if I'm sitting around, if I'm struggling and whatnot, and I'm trying to make ends meet, and I got somebody willing to come in and take half the weight off my back, that other half, I can take that money and save it, put it up, pay off some bills, get some stuff done. But when you have someone that only has a selfish mindset, really it's nothing you can do for them. Best thing you can really do is just stay away from them. It's as simple as that. I don't think any grown-up should be able to come out of the home that they lived in as a child and just come in somebody's house and just be able to live rent-free. It just doesn't make sense, male or female. And let's be real. You ask a woman something like that, you going to take care of a man, you going to pay all his bills, she'd be the first one to tell you, I'm not taking care of no grown man. She'll tell you straight up. So I look at it like, I'm not taking care of no grown woman. Now, if we work together and we build something, we get together and we don't have anything and we build it over the years, I have no problem taking over the bills as my pay goes up. I got no problem with that. But in the beginning, I may not have it like that. And the way I look at it, if you're not willing to get with me and try to build it from the bottom and we work this thing together, you don't deserve to just come in and sit down and do nothing. All that does is make another lazy human being. And the bottom line is, usually these type of women, they end up by themselves in the end because they, like this woman said, she'd rather be by herself than to have somebody help her with the bills. I mean, what can you do with that? There's nothing I can do with it. And I hope you would leave that right where it's at also. Let's continue. Let's see what we got going on next.
woman,
Y'all want to know what it took me 35 years to realize?
Continue.
That I'm f***ing delusional.
Please, tell me more.
And like 75% of women are right on this bandwagon with me.
I know.
And y'all gonna get on this app and try to cap, but women, we're f***ing delusional.
I think that's kind of what I just said in the last segment. I mean, this is delusion, to the 10th power. I mean, if I'm struggling, I'll take any help I can get. This is the bottom line. But even if you go 50-50 with a woman, she's still going to want you to protect her, make sure she's straight. If somebody breaking the house, she wants you to go out there and get it done. She doesn't want to have to get up out of the bed, you chunking her in the middle of the night, talking about, hey, baby, get up and go out there and see what that's about. She don't want to hear that. Let's be real. She still wants you to do the same things that a man would do that cares about his woman. I may not have it financially, but that does not mean I don't care about you. That don't mean I don't love you. That don't mean I don't have your back. Most men, once we get to a certain point with a woman, we'll die for them. Women definitely are not going to do that. So let's look at this thing for what it is. Either way, if she's cooking and cleaning, you're going to be the protector. If y'all out in public and a man steps out of line, she's going to expect you to step right in, no problem. And if you don't, relationship is probably on its way out. This is simple as that. You're going to be expected to keep the car clean, cut the grass, do the outside stuff like men have always done. But I guess in this modern day, our roles are still the same, but women's roles have turned to nothing. They don't have to do anything. Well, I don't know about you. That didn't fly for me. Let's continue.
I mean,
How tall you want him to be?
I like 6'3" and up. So if I'm making 200,000 and you're making 50,000, that's problematic. So I don't want to be the primary breadwinner.
What is your minimum that you would consider?
The minimum would probably be about 100, and that's half of my salary.
Come on now. Come on. Now we're getting ridiculous. This woman has waited way too long in her life to be able to sit there and make these kind of demands. This is ridiculous. It's hard for me to even listen to something like this. You've gotten older, you're out of shape. You're not gonna get the pick of the litter. If you want to get a man, let me tell you all women, if you really want to get a man, you need to get him when he's young. You need to get him when you're in your prime. Because let's be real, most men, we're not running around talking about, I just can't wait for my dream wedding. That's not what we do. We don't operate like that. Usually, we get with a woman or whatnot, we start getting feelings for her, and then once she kind of start proving herself, we start looking at her as, this is someone that I really don't want to live without. This is somebody that I really feel better about being with than being without. And then men, we're physical. When she's at her prime, her peak or whatnot, and she's at her most attractiveness to us, we're more susceptible to when a woman gives us an ultimatum, you need to marry me, that we'll probably go along with it. But once a man gets to a point that he's, been beat up, been through a divorce or two, lost everything once or twice, and then he's probably now he's in his 40s, 50s, he's pretty much out of his physical prime. His testosterone has dropped. He's not as easily to be manipulated as he probably would have been when he was younger. Because in the beginning, procreation, that testosterone is basically what drives us to basically go out here and work and do what we got to do, to obtain and hold on to a woman. But as we get older, that testosterone drop. We've already had children, or we're way past our prime, so to speak, as far as wanting children. Because by the time you get in your 40s, you're trying to look for a little peace and quiet. By the time we get to that point, it's a whole lot harder to convince a man that he should marry you, take care of you, let you sit down, he pay all the bills, you do nothing, he take his years, his last, from 40, 45 to 60, 65, and just give it all to you while you sit up in the house watching soap operas all day, gaining weight. Let's be real. Depressed because you're looking at social media and you're thinking that, well, everybody else got it. Why is my life not like this? When we all know that reality does not mirror social media. This is basically a fantasy. It's almost like taking a picture. That's just a snapshot, basically, of one point in life. But a lot of people look at that as reality, but we both know it's not. We all know that. So let's continue.
If you ask a woman what she gonna bring to the table, she gonna say, I am the table and the chairs. If you ask a woman on a scale of 1 to 10, how pretty are you? She's gonna say 10. So many women believe that they are God's gift to mankind. And when you have a conversation with them, you are trying to figure out how they came up with that so many people are laying at their feet and are fighting over them and want to be with them. Like, where did you get that mindset from? What about the fact that you don't cook, you don't clean, you're not kind, you don't want to get on a man's page, you don't need no man, nobody can't tell you what to do, nobody can't out-talk you, you gotta have the last word. Like, what about that says you're ready for a man? The kitty is not enough. Being a woman is not enough. And then you have the nerve to be like, oh, you don't got your car, because you're not driving that, if you don't got this amount of money in the bank. You have all these requirements. And when the mirror is turned on you, you get stage fright. You shook. You're like, oh, well, I'm a woman. Don't.
Come on now. I don't know. I'm kind of speechless when it comes to something like this, because in this day and age, women ask for everything. But just about all of them, everything that they offer is just an illusion. you're asking me to pay full price for something that is way beyond its expiration date. You're asking me to pay for what something looked like, but if you just peel back just a little bit of the onion, you start finding out that nothing is really what it seems. So, I don't know. It just seems to me like the delusion has really gotten really out of hand. This is ridiculous. And I honestly feel that if something's not done about it, pretty soon, especially with our race, our race is just going to get smaller and smaller. Because our men, as far as the men, we're going to start just, well, not me, because I'm at the age, it doesn't even matter to me. But the young men going to start stepping out of our race even more and looking into other races of women that are more compliant, that are more natural. Now, I have no problem with makeup, a little bit of makeup, hair extension. Put your wig on if you got. I got no problem with none of that. I've gotten used to it. I mean, I don't know. Now my mama, she didn't wear a wig, but a lot of my loved ones do. I got no problem with that. But my thing is, just because you put a wig on doesn't take your value up. What you have to do is look at yourself in the mirror. Nobody around, no clothes on, straight out the shower, as Mr. Samuels would say, Mr. Kevin Samuels. Look at yourself, and you got to be honest. That wig does not take you up as far as any notch value. I'm just saying, we've got to be realistic. You're not a 10. You got no hair on your head. You're stuffing cellulite. It's too much. All I'm saying is, if we want to be happier as a group, we've got to be more realistic with our expectations. Most men, especially the black men, are not rich. They cannot afford to come in and give you this crazy lifestyle, especially in their 20s and 30s. Men don't even hit their peak as far as earning. Usually, I would say probably in their 40s, probably 45 and up. Because now the testosterone has went down to the point that they can think. They can kind of focus on what's important, not chasing women. They're not trying to make people happy. They're just trying to grind, trying to make sure, really they get ready for retirement. If they have a loved one, they want the one that they love to live a comfortable life along with them. I know me. I want my woman to have to work if she don't have to. But she's earned that over the years. It's not a situation where you come in and demand anything, because I don't think I owe you anything. It's like, you don't owe me anything. We make a decision. We're going to get together and walk through life together. We got to figure out what makes it work for both of us. It's not a situation where just the woman should be happy. I mean, men got to be happy too. I know I've heard probably last 40 years, happy wife, happy life and all that. But like I heard before, I heard somebody talking about it online a while back, happy man's God's plan. Got a happy man, he gonna make sure his woman happy, especially if he love her. So we got to put this thing in perspective. It's not just about one person being happy. We can't make each other happy, or we don't have any interest in the other person's happiness. It won't work long term anyway. But let's get back to the video. I just wanted to point out the delusion that's going on here. This is ridiculous.
Ask me that.
Woman will do whatever her boss says, but barely do what her husband asks. I don't get it. I don't understand it. I don't know how you can be to work on time every day at 8 a.m. But to make me a turkey sandwich is a problem.
Here we go again. Let's just be real here. The man told the truth. If you got a woman that won't listen to a thing you say, you can't tell her how to dress, you can't tell her what to wear. And where I look at, I shouldn't have to tell a grown woman what to wear. If you with me and you got any kind of respect for me, you're not going to go out with your behind out, with your breasts all out. You're not going to do that. You're going to have some self-respect that I won't have to tell you not to go out here and put yourself in a situation where you may get unwanted attention and something happened to you. Next thing you know, you're calling me, talking about some man said something to you or somebody grabbed you or whatnot. But then it's like you expected me to go out here and risk my life when you went out here and just act the fool. That's not going to get it done. We've got to do better as far as accountability. A real woman that cares about her man should not have to tell her what to wear, especially if they've been together a little while. And in the very beginning, I give you a little bit of slack because You don't know each other. You don't know each other's likes. You may think, well, when he met me, I had on these short shorts or whatever. Okay, fine. Once we decide we're going to be together, we're in a relationship, I'm going to tell you how I would handle it. If my woman came and she didn't have, didn't have the clothes that I thought she should be wearing, all she had was basically hoochie mama type of stuff, I'd probably take her out and get her something. I'm not going to designer district buying a whole lot of Fendi and all that foolishness. But I will take her out, just some shopping so she can get some basic clothes. I'm not going to just go off if she's wearing clothes that I feel are not appropriate, basically, in the beginning. Because maybe she don't have the money. Maybe she just figured this is just the style. This is what she's always worn. But if she wants to be with a quality man, she's going to find out what this man like and dislike. And if it's a situation you feel like, well, I want to dress how I want, I'm grown, I'm going to do what I want to do, then maybe you need to be by yourself. Because if the shoe is on the other foot and you're doing something that the woman doesn't appreciate, she's going to let you know. And if you just blow her out, I'm going to do what I want, I'm going out with the boys, I'm going to drink, smoke, do whatever, and I'm going to do it. She's not going to have that. She's not going to have it. She may put up with it for a while, but after a while, she's going to be trying to put together some type of exit strategy. That's just how we are as humans. So I look at it like this. It's not a situation where I'm trying to manipulate, I'm unsure about being a man, about what my place is as a man. It has nothing to do with anything. The bottom line is we said we belong to each other. Once we say that we're in a relationship, whatnot, all that, I'm going to do what I want to do, that goes out the window for both of us. That's just how it is. And I want you young men out here to understand, if you get with a woman, you're in a relationship, and she tells you, hey, you don't get to tell me what to wear, what to do. You don't need that woman. She doesn't want to be with you. It's as simple as that.
I got nightmares in my head, I fear that the thoughts build up until I can't hear, that my mind fills up into a creature, and it haunts me somewhere much deeper. Anxiety, filling up every space, no privacy.